Mitsuko-san. So basically, almost everybody know you except few people. Yeah. And then Abe Sensei, many people went to Japan to meet you and your friends, Abe Sensei. Yeah, it's very nice. Yeah, please don't nervous. Don't be nervous. Yeah, Takeda-san gonna share Abe Sensei today, the first time with English. So yeah, please yeah, listen and then let's learn what he talks and what his experience. And I have so limited experience with Abe Sensei because the only time Abe Sensei came to United States, several times. And many people met already Abe Sensei, and I learned from him most of the time while he was in Los Angeles. I stay 24 hours and stick with him and a lot of questions and he answered and this is how I learned. But Takeda-san, he lives in Japan and also the last several years and until Abe Sensei passed away, he took care of really. There are many students. Abe Sensei raised many capable people, of course, youth all over the years. But Takeda-san is one of the very few people who really, until Abe Sensei passed away, he really, continuously seeking, and he has something from Abe Sensei. So that's why I invited him today. And but don't be nervous, please. And we just kind of make a kind of friend, informal type. Yeah, with please share with Abe Sensei and some video and photos, and so go from here. So I guess we can start. Okay, I don't have to talk about too much about Takeda-san. Everybody knows. Okay, so yeah, Takeda-san, including your again introduction about yourself, introducing yourself, and then please go ahead, start.
Okay, Matsuoka Sensei, thank you for your kind introduction. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you all for coming today. My name is Akihiro Takeda. I appreciate the precious opportunity to make a presentation this time. Today, I'm going to talk about Abe Sensei's life and Aikido. The objective of this presentation is to share with you about Seiseki Abe Sensei's life and philosophy. I hope you'll understand Abe Sensei more deeply by the end of my presentation. Now, let's get started. Can you see well? Okay, thank you. And I've divided my presentation into 5 main parts like this. First of all, please let me introduce myself again. I was born in 1974, and I'll be 49 next week. I became aware of Aikido when I entered the university in the spring in 1993. In the autumn of that year, I went to Ameno Takemusu Aikijuku Dojo for the first time, which was Abe Sensei's dojo, to take a keiko given by him. From then, I kept going there to attend Abe Sensei's keiko several times a week until graduation. After graduation, I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to be an apprentice of Abe Sensei from 2001 to 2011 until he passed away. As an apprentice, I not only participated in Aikido training, but also performed a wide range of other chores, such as taking care of Abe Sensei's personal needs or researching and collecting materials about Aikido and Abe Sensei. I shared so much time with him and received so much knowledge. Not to mention Aikido, Kojiki, Shodo, Japanese calligraphy, brown rice, Bushido, and Japanese culture more broadly too. Well, I will explain as many things about Abe Sensei as possible today. Let's move on to the next topic. What made Abe Sensei who he was? From my point of view, they are Shodo, Misogi, Kokyu, brown rice, Kojiki, and Aikido. Abe Sensei encountered with these in turn faithfully and eventually merged them into one. I think it's his remarkable features. Now, I'd like to explain the details. Here is Abe Sensei's biography. Today, I'd like to focus on 4 events. Seiseki Abe Sensei was born in 1915. He came to up calligraphy himself and taught students at elementary school. He was influenced by the general Japanese cultural value of taking one's household and ancestors into consideration before thinking about oneself. His father happened to be a skilled calligrapher. Moreover, by coincidence, his mother's name happened to be Fude. Fude is a Japanese word for brush. Don't you think he couldn't avoid his fate?
26.
When he was around 27 years old, he was feeling limited and that he was struggling to advance his craft of calligraphy. So decided to try out a 1-week introductory seminar on misogi to clear his mind. I think this was an event that would change his life forever. This misogi seminar, Cleaning Mind and Body seminar, was held by Dr. Kenzo Futaki. He is commonly known as a doctor of medicine of Tokyo Imperial University. But he is also famous for the founder of the Misogi Training Society, an advocate of a diet of brown rice, and a scholar of Kojiki. Moreover, Dr. Futaki was already learning Aikido at that time under Morihei Ueshiba, known as O Sensei, the founder of Aikido. Abe Sensei spent a week at Misogi no Miya Shrine and was taught not only Misogi, but also Kojiki, brown rice, and so on. During this Misogi seminar, Dr. Futaki asked students to attack him. Abe Sensei thought, I can win, since he owed third dan in judo. He had no knowledge of Aikido at that time, but tried an attack. At the next moment, Abe Sensei was thrown away by Dr. Futaki. who was almost 70 years old. This was Abe Sensei's first Aikido experience. This seminar didn't lead Abe Sensei into Aikido right away. However, he was greatly impressed and learned what Aikido felt like. This caused him to remember the name Morihei Ueshiba. Off topic, but I often go to Misogi no Miya Shrine to do my purification. First time, I was surprised to see the Misogi place in Misogi no Miya Shrine. It was very similar to the Misogi that Abe Sensei made at Ame no Takemusu Aikijuku Dojo. I don't think that Abe Sensei had been to Misogi no Miya Shrine since Dr. Futaki's seminar. But it is almost certain that he referred to the Misogi in Misogi no Miya Shrine when he built his own dojo. When I told my senior of Aikido about this, he shouted, "I see, so that's what it was." I asked him why he was so excited. Then he happily said, "Now I know why the water in the dojo's misogi doesn't come out from the faucet, but from the bottom." Very similar. And for the reference, Mizu no Gyo, like this, standing underwater may be the most well-known in misogi. But misogi consists of 8 practices when you see this slide. Due to lack of time today, I'm afraid I will omit the details. Well, 10 years after Dr. Futagi's seminar, Abe Sensei was strolling around his hometown in Suita, Osaka, Japan. He happened to be passing by Bansen Tanaka Sensei's house and noticed Ueshiba name on the door plate. As Tanaka Sensei had just opened his Aikido dojo the day before, Morihei Ueshiba Sensei visited for the opening event. Tanaka Sensei and Abe Sensei knew each other well, but Abe Sensei hadn't known Tanaka Sensei did Aikido. So Abe Sensei asked Tanaka Sensei to introduce him as Dr. Futaki's student to Ueshiba O-sensei. It was 1952. Abe Sensei was 37 years old. O-sensei was 71 years old. At that time, people just couldn't join the dojo without a referral from someone. But Abe Sensei's mention to Dr. Futaki's name made O-sensei accepted Abe Sensei as a new student of Aikido. Abe Sensei wrote in his diary about the day he met O-sensei, like this. This diary is open to the public for the first time today. Well, he used to stay at Tanaka Sensei's house when O-sensei came to Osaka. But since 1954, he had been staying at Abe Sensei's house. Abe Sensei had been practicing Aikido for only 2 years at that time. Now, here is a question for you. Why did O-sensei switch his destination to Abe sensei's house? Please think about it for 10 seconds. Okay, this is the answer. When Abe sensei heard from O sensei that Tanaka sensei's house only had well water and that he couldn't do misogi if the water became muddy after rain, Abe sensei invited O sensei to his house, which had tap water. At the time, he opened a about 25 square meters dojo inside his house. And from then on, he was invited to stay at Abe sensei's house. Now, let's move on the next topic. Here, I want to talk about Kojiki, which is Japanese oldest surviving historical account and was completed in 712. O sensei often shared lessons from Kojiki with Abe sensei. So he started to learn by himself as well, and he found many connections between Kojiki and Aikido. Abe sensei sometimes told us that O sensei said to him, "Study Kojiki until you understand viscerally." Also, Abe sensei told us the backbone of Aikido was Kojiki. So I'd like to share with you one example of what Kojiki meant from Abe sensei's perspective and how he taught us to understand and use the ideas in Aikido. Ame no minakanushi no kami. The first 神様、exceptional being in ancient Japanese. Depicted on Kojiki is called Ame no minakanushi no kami. First, these characters are honorifics. When we remove these from this name, Naka and Nushi, only two characters remain. This essential message of this character then is center is important. It's also important, however, that many honorifics are also used in this name. This character was distinguished and highly respected by people. Abe sensei said that it was important to keep the center point flexible. He often described this idea as a stereotypical family morning. In the morning first, mother takes center when she wakes up and starts walking around the home. Then father wakes up and mother helps him to get ready to walk. During this time, father is the center of the home. After father leaves for walk, children wake up and mother prepares their breakfast and helps them get ready for school. At this time, the center of the home is children. After the children leave for school, the mother remains in the house. At this point, the center of the home is once again the mother. The center of the home of the family moves depending on the time and the situation. It doesn't stay static in one spot. Abe Sensei often taught us about the idea of a point, that which is irreducible and has no component parts simply is. He explained that is the same idea of point in Euclidean geometry. We can apply this to Aikido, focusing on the center point, but not letting it get locked or stuck in one place during practice. Abe Sensei said, 体の転換、体の変更 or 体の変更 is the technique of 雨の皆主の神。Next is abdominal breathing. Abe Sensei always told us to practice Aikido with abdominal breathing, not lung breathing. When the breath is taken under the belly button and exists through the tip of the pinky, it products a strong force that is unique of Aikido. Now, here we are going to practice abdominal breathing now. And it is easier to understand if you lie down there, but you can also do it while sitting down. Now, please get ready. Are you ready? Okay. Yeah. First of all, put your hand under your navel. Under your navel. We are going to move it there now. Now, first, breathe out for 7 seconds. Then concentrate on your center for 7 seconds. Next, breathe in for 7 seconds. Finally, concentrate on your center for 7 seconds again. Let's continue this together for a while. Breathe out. Concentrate your center. Breathe in. Concentrate your center. Breathe out. Concentrate your center. Breathe in. Concentrate your center. Okay. How did you like it? Thank you. Okay, next is Shodo, Japanese calligraphy. The completion of Misogi taught by Dr. Futaki, Aikido taught by O Sensei, and calligraphy into one is a significant feature of Abe Sensei's alone. Aikido and calligraphy have exactly the same kokyu and spiral. And Sensei often said with a laugh, I do calligraphy with my right hand and I do Aikido with my left. With a push or pull spiral of the thumb and forefinger, only 2 fingers, we can write calligraphy or can do Aikido techniques. The key from the fingertips is transferred to the ink through the tip of the brush and remains in the ink on the paper. O-sensei himself knew that his key, not techniques, his key would not remain on film. And when he was wondering how to leave his own key behind, he came across Abe Sensei and Abe Sensei's calligraphy, which led him to start calligraphy. And this is off topic, but where Abe Sensei went to a calligraphy exhibition to admire other people's works, he would follow the characters with his eyes, while moving his right thumb and forefinger, like this, ここで。With- Next, brown rice. In keeping with Dr. Futaki's teaching, eat living foods a little. Abe Sensei ate brown rice for more than 70 years. As shown in this slide, after brown rice is watered, it sprouts. This is because brown rice is alive. He also always taught us to chew our food well. Then, let's move on to the last topic. She is Muroi-san, the only Abe Sensei's real uchideshi. She stayed at Abe Sensei's home for over 20 years, learning calligraphy and Aikido while taking care of his personal needs. So, he was always in a very good mood when she was around. But it is a great sadness that she passed away suddenly in 2008. Next is Sensei's dog, Stella. Although it was Muroi-san or I who took him for walks, he understood well that Abe Sensei was the most important person in the house. And while Abe Sensei was eating, Stella always waited by his side and received food from him. こうですね。Here are some other photos. What I'd like to emphasize here is the photo of the sandals. You can see the soles are evenly worn. And so you can understand how Abe Sensei balanced them. Here is Abe Sensei's embu demonstration at the age of 78. You must enjoy a four style, a hard style, soft style, flowing style, and the key style of Aikido. Very dynamic Abe. Finally, let me introduce oral instruction. Take and return quickly, partner's power is one of oral instructions by O Sensei. And for the world and humanity is Abe Sensei's last words that I heard the night before he passed away. I still don't know what he really meant, but I will never forget these words and will continue to live my life from tomorrow onward. I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much for your attention. That's all.
Wow. Amazing. I learned and discovered new. What do you think, everyone? You know, Abe Sensei and, you know, Kokyu and, you know, whole body movement. Yeah, he's a
Thank you
master.
so much. A wonderful presentation.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
ありがとうございます。いや、もう素晴らしいです。
いや、ありがとうございます。
Anything you want to share? What do you think?
Thank you very much for
Oh,
the great
Miko-san.
presentation. I think you took a lot of time and effort for gathering all the information. And sorry, my interest is a little bit different maybe from others. And how old is Stella? And Stella is a female dog?
My email address?
No, Stella.
Stella.
Is she female?
Dog, dog, はい。
Sorry.
Okay.
we can invite him as a guest speaker.
So
Next
beautiful.
time.
And, yeah. How old is he or him? He?
He.
He.
Yeah. At that time, he was 7 or 8 years old.
You see, yeah. Thank you very much.
You are welcome.
I really would like to invite Stella. The guest
Yeah,
speaker.
I would like to see him.
Anybody, anything you want to share? Yeah. Please, yeah. Everything okay? You around?
Can you say again what was the last thing that he said to you?
松岡先生、すいません。通訳をお願いできますでしょうか。
なんか最後に言われたの何でしたっけって、なんか
これですか。
もう一度すいませんけども。
For the world and humanity.
Is that you talking about?
That's amazing.
Yeah, really, if we have to seek world peace, start with us. How to manage our body and how to produce, you know, energy. And we have to learn, relearn.
When Abe Sensei was in Taos, he came to Taos for about a month. And we did misogi every morning with ice cold water, and we just poured it over our. We had a 5-gallon bucket out by a tap outside the house, and we filled the bucket. We filled the bucket with 5 gallons of cold water each. We each had 5 gallons of cold water.
5 gallons. Wow, amazing.
And we poured it over ourselves every morning. It was like, oh, this is new. This is a new way to bathe, actually.
That's great.
When I visited Craig's dojo, and he kept, the time Abe Sensei came, a long time ago, 1980, maybe 1, 2, probably something like that. anyway, yeah, he kept the wood and put shomen and Abe Sensei calligraphy there. Yeah, kind of I felt really spirit of Aikido, martial arts, and and all sensei. Yeah.
One time at a calligraphy class, we had calligraphy classes on Saturday morning, and then we had Aikido class with Abe Sensei, and then we had Aikido class with our previous sensei, and then they did a mutual class. But one time I was in a calligraphy class and I looked at him and I said, "This brush doesn't work correctly." And he looked at me and he smiled.
Oh.
And then here's what he did. He took my brush and he put it upside down and he put and you know how he taught a calligraphy. He put the little calligraphy in the corner of the paper and you had to repeat it however long it took to fill up the paper, and then the next paper and the next paper. So he took the brush and he stuck the handle of the brush in and did the calligraphy. And then he took a paper towel and made a rat tail out of it and put it in the ink and did the calligraphy. And then he took his brush and he did the calligraphy. And then he took my brush and he did the calligraphy. And they all looked exactly the same. And he looked at me. He did not say a word. And that was all it took. He looked at me and he smiled. And I'm like, wakarimasu, wakarimasu. I understand.
Long time ago, I took Abe Sensei to Russia, Moscow. And then there are 100 people, young people there. And then they want to learn calligraphy, shodo. Okay, and then of course they didn't have brush and paper, but they said, yeah, we are ready. We have a brush and paper. And I took a look and they prepare for what you call regular brush. I mean, draw the art. Yeah, so misunderstood. But and I thought, oh, not this brush. I said to them, but obviously they took. Oh no, it's okay. We can practice shodo. I was, wow. I mean, really, the revolutionary. I mean, my mind, so flexible. And in other words, his point of view is a kokyu. Yeah, and then all of us practice shodo with such brush. I mean, it's not the shodo brush, and yeah, I mean, I remember, and so anyway.
No, he did it with a paper towel. I know exactly what you're talking about. It did not matter the tool. The tool did not matter.
Right. Yeah, he was always. Yeah, I really he mentioned in a kokyu, but I never get it. Yeah, I'm still seeking. I'm still on the journey to seeking kokyu, and I can share a little bit about what I understood. But probably from the truth, probably my understanding is 1% probably. Yeah. Anyway, anyone else you wanna share?
Thank you so much, Takeda Sensei. It was so enjoyable to hear more. In Australia, I've been learning from Sensei Craig Leeson, who has a lot of respect for everything he learned from Abe Sensei. And I'm sorry, I think I'm supposed to say, how do I properly address, is it Abe Seiseki?
Abe Seiseki Sensei.
Sensei. And
Seiseki
Sensei. And thank you. And in the classes in Australia, since I've been learning, we would do the Narito prayer, and we learned about Misogi and I think it's the Fujitama that you mentioned briefly. And so that's been really good to get a deeper understanding today. So thank you very much for putting together your presentation. And I would like to learn more about, just my take-home message is to learn about the Kojiki and a bit more about the calligraphy. And I'm lucky to be coming to Japan soon. So I'll be, trying to learn as much as I can. So arigatou gozaimasu.
This is my pleasure. And I hope you can come again to Japan.
Thank you.
How about Steve?
Takeda-san.
Hi.
Hey, are you still practicing Misogi daily?
Yes.
No, please go ahead.
In my house with shower.
Yeah, during the pandemic, I started practicing, very aggressive misogi every day with
great.
some a lot of breath work and meditation, and it led me to start taking private lessons again from Matsuoka Sensei, and I started doing more, which a lot of people are, the like ice baths, and it brought back so many memories of being in Japan with Abe Sensei. I kind of forgot so many of the lessons that he gave me and was teaching me. And I wanted to share one with everybody, because while I was there, we talked about misogi quite a bit. And the main takeaway he said to me is that you can not practice Aikido, you can not go on the mat for 10 years. But he said, if you do misogi, if you train misogi hard and really, practice diligently, and you come back into the dojo and step on the mat, your Aikido will be amazing. You will progress. You will not, at least not lose anything. He said that's how important misogi is to practicing Aikido. And I think it was important because before being away during the pandemic, being off the mat for years and coming back into the dojo, I could definitely say that I didn't feel, physically I wasn't as good, but I felt like my understanding of Aikido had progressed, even though I hadn't been on the mat. So it's just one of the many lessons that I'm reminded of that he told me, that I have a greater understanding the longer that I practice. And I just wanted to share that with everybody, because when I started doing this, Takeda Sensei and even Craig, way back when you couldn't learn misogi anywhere, it was very difficult. So it's amazing now that you can practice, and you can look up on the internet and you can see all of these things and take little pieces. But I would encourage anybody to really try this every day, or at least as much as you can, the cold water and the breath work. Even what Takeda Sensei just shared today, the 7 seconds in, hold 7 seconds, focus on your breath, relax your muscles. And if you get in a rhythm of this, the meditation that comes with it can be mind-blowing and pretty amazing. So I just wanted to share that little lesson I got from Abe Sensei.
Steve with one people, yes, spent in Japan, and spend many hours, many days, and learn from Abe Sensei directly, very unusual. I hope you will be back on the and dojo regularly and inspire people. Our youth. And
Thank you, Sensei.
David too, David Vanero. He also spent time with Abe Sensei personally, and I think there are several people here, and please talk about Abe Sensei, talk about Kokyu, talk about what you learn, and that we can inspire and kind of a good virus, for spreading. And just one thing, can I show? This is 2004. Abe Sensei was alive, and there's some pictures and behind all Sensei's calligraphy there. He showed us all Sensei's calligraphy, and someone cries, and it is really inspired. We learn Shodo directly from here, from him. So what a good days, and anyway. By the way, David, can we take picture?
Everybody turn on your camera.
Is that
and while we
possible?
figure that out, what's it?
Before we forget, and just if
Maybe
we
stop sharing.
just quickly,
stop sharing the presentation, and I'll try new mode window. Click. Hold on, I will save this one.
Yeah, please show your face and yeah, just quickly. 5 seconds. Everybody okay?
Good, we're good. Look this
Ueno-san,
way.
Dino?
Oh, I'm looking at the. Oop, there we go. Okay.
Still got the presentation up.
Okay.
Oh, so no, I can see all you. That's what counts. It still works. One thing I can share is how very funny Abe Sensei has a great sense of humor. He was when I was in Japan, went to the dojo and he was so kind and gracious and I was only there for a week, but he basically his class basically stopped the class and it was just a kind of like a private lesson for me with everybody watching. And the one point I was holding on, he would always say, "Oh, please, stronger." And so I'm holding on as strong as I can, and his arms is I was like squeezing as tight, and then I just backpedal 15 feet, and he's over there laughing at me. So it's just the way he taught, it was very open, and he was open to anybody who came and showed an interest that he would treat very kindly and teach Aikido.
Yeah, thank you. Great. Yeah. Anyway, I know Ikazuchi Dojo and Seishinjuku Dojo both put Abe Sensei's calligraphy, by the way. And then now you learn more here about Abe Sensei. Please visit our dojos. Take a look our calligraphy. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit different eye. Yeah, Ikazuchi is Abe Sensei gave me two big shodo, Ikazuchi and the other one, and then several different shodo, and that's everything written by Abe Sensei and Seishinjuku Dojo too. Yeah, so
It's actually the same in Taos.
yes, exactly, that's right. Yeah, go visit Taos.
Yeah, come and visit Taos.
Yeah, and okay, anyone else you wanna something you wanna share? Okay. Yeah, Michael, you went to Japan, right? So first time, 2000,
Yes, sir.
2014, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, already Abe Sensei passed away. Yeah, already, right. We went to Tokyo and Kyoto and Osaka and Abe Sensei's dojo. And now Abe Sensei's son, yeah, is the chief instructor and taking care of Ameno Takemusu Juku dojo. Yes. So I hoping, yeah, soon go back to the yeah, trip, Japan trip. So everything okay? Everybody, you want to say something?
I have one question to Takeda-san.
Yes.
How did Abe Sensei talk about the Norito? Did he recommend to do the Norito at the same time with Misogi?
ノリトとみそぎは、
ノリトをあげた方がいいというお話をされてました？それとも。
はい。ですね。すみません。じゃあ私、日本語でお答えするんで、また後で皆さんのためにちょっと英語でお願いいたします。ノリトはですね、呼吸法のためにノリトを読みなさいとおっしゃってました。ノリトっていうのはご存知の通り、その神社とか神様、神道に関するものですけども、みそぎの行においてノリトは、その宗教的な意味はなくて、このノリトの文字を読む腹式呼吸、先ほどやった腹式呼吸でやることによって、その腹式呼吸の練習をするというふうにおっしゃってました。なので、安倍先生から私はノリトの中身、文章についての意味は一回も教えていただいたことはありません。
ありがとうございます。
はい。はい。
Sorry, everybody. I asked about the Norito, and if I would like to know if Abe Sensei recommended to do Norito or not. It's a kind of Shinto-related thing, but Abe Sensei didn't explain about the content of Norito. also he didn't recommend to do Norito as a religious way, but for his breathing technique using the abdominal, the breathing techniques, he recommends to read the Norito. That part I was not clear, so I asked him and he explained. Sorry for in Japanese.
Anyway, Abe Sensei also told me, yeah, he, playing using Norito because of breathing method. Yeah. So he didn't really explain to me the content and Norito and breathing. Yeah, that he used. That's I understood. And yeah, so understand what Takeda-san shared. And
yeah, my understanding is to learn to do the Norito on one out breath, to read it without taking another in breath during the time of the Norito. Is that correct?
I think so. Just only for using Norito for training the breathing technique, abdominal breathing.
yeah, it comes from whole body, and yeah, that Abe Sensei, I used to discuss, and yeah, so purely breathing, yeah, breathing out, and then it's very effective when you movement and breathing is, yeah, that's really Abe Sensei was seeking point. And his demonstration is exactly come from a breathing, strong breathing. Otherwise, difficult to understand. If one touch, opponent lose balance, it's a breathing. But at least I know this kind of stuff through Aikido. So that's why Abe Sensei always recommend, he said to me, those who train and practice Shodo, he recommend to do Aikido. For Aikido people, to do Shodo, kind of both. Like Takeda Sensei, yeah, pointed out, the Kokyuho is one, Kokyuho. Anyone else you wanna speak? Otherwise, yeah, we're gonna in few minutes. We're gonna,
One thing I think should be mentioned is macrobiotics and some of the diets that one of the ways of eating that Abe Sensei would do would be to have 1 cup of brown rice a day, and
Yes.
and start, but not all at once. You eat a meal or two and chew each bite 40 times. So the chewing would be, of course, there's not much left after 40 chews, but the idea being that this would be enough. It's also very challenging because it's not no food, it's just a little bit of food. So but this is one of the techniques that anybody can do, if you put your mind to it. Good luck.
I just want to add one thing. Which I find very interesting. Thank you very much, Takeda Sensei, for the presentation. And I heard this actually from Masaoka Sensei before, quoting Abe Sensei, that the calligraphy actually captures the spirit of the person even after they passed away. So for me, as I'm not practicing Shodo and I'm not familiar with it, I found that very fascinating, and maybe a stimulant to learn Shodo going forward, to understand better the spirit of our masters which came before us. Thank you very much.
You are welcome.
By the way, we have in Doshinokai Foundation, we are preparing once a month Shodo practice class. Yeah, there is no teacher. I have little experience, so but I bring Abe Sensei's text. So we try to based on Kokyu and research and figure out. So that's once a month we're gathering and at Seishinjuku Dojo. And yeah, I just want to let you know. And yeah, sometime I make an announcement once a month. So if you are available, please stop by and just join us and practice new Kokyu.
Thank you, Sensei.
Yes.
Anyway,
just one thing, I'd like to say thank you so much, Takeda Sensei. It's a great lecture, and And especially I am interested in calligraphy, shodo of practice. It's important to have kokyuho, breathing. Yeah, it was the first time I heard. Yeah, I also had an experience of shodo when I was elementary school student. But it is important to have a breathing in and out is for the calligraphy shodo. Yeah, it's great idea. And yeah.
Yeah, when I watch Abe Sensei video that was shared, he was like he was writing when he was throwing the people like he was doing shodo. Very similar. Kokyu, his Kokyu was showing somehow.
Oh, it's very nice. Great, amazing.
Thank you
so much.
You're welcome. And 松岡先生、すみません。ちょっと私が今から言うことをまた通訳していただけますか。
Takeda-san will speak Japanese, and let me translate.
今、先ほど、おっしゃった通りですね、書道で、腹式呼吸が大事だっていうことを学校では普通教わりません。ただし、安倍先生は昔ですね、日本でいう文部科学省の、雑誌の中にそういうことを書かれた投稿はされてます。はい。なので、やはり先生としては学校でもそういう腹式呼吸が大事だと、書道において腹式呼吸大事だっていうのはやはり言うべきだというお考えはあったと思います。
Basically, no school teaches kokyuho when the student practice shodo. Abe Sensei actually one time 文部科なんていうのかなand government officials, and so he actually told them kokyuho, about kokyuho. But anyway, he tried to make effort. But however, yes, usually shodo, they don't do kokyuho, of course. And I think very unique approach, Abe Sensei. Yeah, that's why I believe all sensei interested in learning shodo, and I believe. 武田さんは何か書道とか安倍先生から言われたことはあります？いや、please share. 武田さん。
書道は本当はやらないといけなかったんですけども、恥ずかしながらもうほとんどもう筆の動かし方とペンの引き方ぐらいしか教わってません。
He's a humble man. I don't know how much. He's very humble.
なのでやはり室井さんが本当に唯一の本当のお弟子さんだと思います。
The other assistant, Muroi-san, the lady who was in the picture. So she is actually really took seriously shodo from Abe Sensei. Unfortunately, she passed away, so cannot ask. Unfortunately, but anyway, only we can seek. Sensei brought many material. Yeah, we have opportunity. We can seek. Maybe some other time, Takeda Sensei, maybe we'd like to invite you and continue, share. Yeah.
Please.
Come to Los Angeles and.
Yes. I hope so.
Yeah, you're teaching. Yes. Yeah. By the way, I will see him next week in Japan, and we have a dinner. Yeah, so we talk more. If I find out something new, I'll let you know.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to next week.
Yes, next week, yes. And by the way, next event, Doshinokai event, we are organizing Taiko in person. So remember a year ago, we did invited Master Shishido Sensei from Kitakyushu Island, one school of Taiko, very traditional. So his student here, Los Angeles. So we're gonna learn, Taiko, Japanese drum, actually in person class. And anyway, I'm not sure Seishinjuku Dojo, Ikazuchi Dojo. Anyway, August 13th, Sunday, from 11 to 1 p.m. So 2 hours, we're gonna practice. And then same time Zoom. So this will be Zoom, same time. Yeah. So if anyone interested in, please, hope you can join and actually feeling. And there is some technique. Yeah. So I'm very interested in learning Kyushu Taiko. Yeah. And David and Cheryl and myself, we're gonna talk about and prepare. And then autumn, probably we are thinking about Japanese movie as a culture. So I'd like to pick Japanese film, maybe Kurosawa or and then let's continue. We're gonna prepare something and let's share some Japanese as a Doshinokai Foundation and continuously giving opportunity. So 武田先生、何か最後に。
最後に、
Last
そう
word. Last encouragement. Whatever.
いや、私、Thank you very much for your attention. I had a very good time with you. I enjoyed the time we are discussing and talk about Abe Sensei. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
どうもありがとうございまし
Thank you
た
for。sharing.
どうもありがとうございました。武田さん。
Thank you, everyone. Thank
先
you.
生。
あ、
Yeah.
レスタ、
And see
Thank
you
you.
at the dojo.
あ、武田さん。
ありがとうございました。
お久しぶりですね。
久しぶり。
Nice to see you.
I miss you.
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございました。
Likewise.